All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Washington Commanders. Now, although they did end up losing 34-31 on the road against the Philadelphia Eagles in overtime this past weekend, I am so proud of those guys, especially coming off a 40-3 loss at home against the Buffalo Bills. Look, the Washington Commanders are the real deal. Their future is extremely bright, and I saw so many positives against the team that almost won the Super Bowl in the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I will say this. You are an underdog on the road. It was a 50-50 coin flip in overtime. I get it. They got the ball. They didn't score. But here's the thing. You got to go for the two-point conversion. But at the end of the day, there are so many things to be happy about with that game. You're head-to-head against the Philadelphia Eagles on the road. I mean, it's extremely impressive considering the fact they just lost 40-3 1 week ago. They won the possession battle 35-30. They had 26 first downs. They were 8-17 on third down. They had 365 total yards. They were 4-5 in the red zone. They had 0 turnovers, which is one of the most important statistics of the afternoon. Sam Howell looked great. He got sacked a couple of times, but I thought for the most part, the dude was doing a really good job with his feet, finding the open man, extending plays, extending drives. I absolutely loved what I saw from Sam Howell yesterday. He is certainly QB1 for this Washington Commanders team, and that's really all I wanted to know about this squad heading into the season. Is Sam Howell my quarterback? Well, against one of the best defenses in the National Football League, I don't want to hear about banged up. We're a month into the season. Every single player is banged up, all right? Sam Howell, 29-41, 290 yards, a touchdown on the last play of the game. It's crazy. We're going to talk about all of this. I rewatched the game, and I'm feeling so good about this Washington team. But before we get into it, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. I do post a couple of Commanders videos every single week. Washington fans, the amount of love you guys show this channel, I appreciate it so much. If we could try and get this video to 100 likes, that would mean the world to me. So, I mean, man, you're up 17-10 at halftime on the road against the Philadelphia Eagles. This team is so freaking close. One thing I want to see more of moving forward, and we talked about it in our Eagles Commanders preview this past week, I need to see that run game more. Brian Robinson Jr. has done such a good job in his very brief NFL career. Last afternoon, only 14 carries. He had 45 yards and a touchdown, a huge touchdown, might I add, for 15 yards. I just want to see more of it. But it wasn't just that. Sam Howell also 6 rushes, 40 yards. We talked about it, especially this past week. Sam Howell needs to trust his instincts. Get rid of the ball. Move on your feet. If you don't like what you see, don't make mistakes. Don't throw the ball into places you shouldn't be throwing the ball in. I loved it. I absolutely am enamored by Sam Howell in this past game. And we talked about it this past week, getting exposed, or I hate using the word exposed, but losing in a just complete blowout, 40-3 against the Buffalo Bills. Sam Howell obviously didn't have a great game. The offense didn't have a great game. The defense didn't have a great game. But we went back and we looked at it. I'm thinking to myself, as bad as Washington played, it really just was the fourth quarter that they needed to clean some things up. This offense with guys like Scary Terry, Curtis Samuel, Jahan Dotson, although he didn't have the best game, 4 catches, 27 yards, although he had 9 targets, he caught the game-winning touchdown as time expired. That last drive in regulation showed me so many things. I mean, the drive starts off, you have a minute left on the clock. The drive starts with a sack. Sam Howell gets sacked the first play, the final fourth quarter drive. They end up scoring a touchdown. You can't teach it. You cannot teach stuff like that. These guys clearly fully believe in Sam Howell. They clearly fully believed in him, especially after his first game last year. This is pretty much Sam Howell's rookie season. I know he started and did a great job in the final regular season game last year, but that was the only game he played. This dude's only played 5 NFL games. And what I've seen so far, I am a really big fan of. And the reason it's so important is this is a loaded quarterback draft class. But Sam Howell fell all the way to the 5th round? The dude did a great job in college. And we can go back and we look at multiple different reasons for why he fell in the draft. But that 5th round valuation, I didn't agree with it. I know a lot of people didn't agree with it. And when Washington drafted this dude, everyone's sitting and thinking to themselves, wait, did we just get a steal? I mean, Sam Howell was a borderline first-round draft pick for most of his collegiate career, and he fell all the way into the hands in the 5th round to the Washington Commanders. So yes, they did lose. You've got a big game this upcoming weekend at home, or not weekend, upcoming game this Thursday night against the Chicago Bears, a team that is just absolutely suffering. They're 0-4. They want to get things going. Washington, they're at a point where these are games you got to win. I really like their next upcoming 3 games: Chicago, Atlanta, New York, and then you've got Philadelphia again at home. Washington could make some noise. They could sneak into the playoffs very easily. It goes without saying, they're in the NFC East. Yes, they are going to have to beat Philadelphia. They will have to beat Dallas. They're going to have to take care of the Giants. But after yesterday's game, honestly, who can't they compete with? They can compete it with everybody. They were seriously impressed by Sam Howell's performance. It really is only a matter of time until Washington starts to win football games like this. Although Sam Howell had a great stat line, I mean, he really did. You're going up against the Philadelphia freaking Eagles. 29 of 41. He was efficient, 290 yards, a touchdown. He had 40 yards rushing, so many first downs. He had a long of 20. But one thing that doesn't show up in the stat line is just his instincts. I mean, the dude evaded pressure when he needed to. The guy extended drives when he needed to. And at the end of the day, especially in the 4th quarter and to start the game with a touchdown on the first drive when they got the ball, he did what he needed to do when he needed to do it. And it sounds so simple, but not everybody has that. Not everybody has that it factor. Not everybody has that dog inside of them. These are intangibles. These are things that just don't show up on the stat sheet. If you're a Washington Commanders fan and you watched that football game and you've watched your team for the first month of the season, you really like what you are seeing. You really like it. It's just the tip of the iceberg. Sam Howell is only going to improve. Eric Bieniemy running this offense, it's only going to get more efficient. It's only going to get more explosive. Yes, I do want and need to see more running. Brian Robinson Jr. is a stud. The dude's a dog. Give him the ball. Feed him the ball. But I get it. You're going up against Philly. They still controlled the time of possession, even though Brian Robinson only ran 14 times. I want to see him just get the ball more. I liked the pass to run ratio in the first quarter, in the first drive of the game. And I just want to see that for the duration. But Sam Howell throwing the ball 41 times for almost 300 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. That's just the most important part. He had 0 interceptions. It's coming off a really bad statistical and eye test game against the Buffalo Bills where their offense just played terrible. 19 of 29, 170 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. It just was uncharacteristic of, the very brief games we've seen from Sam Howell. This was a great bounce back. Even though they didn't win, they should have gone for it on 4th down. You have to go for it on the 2-point conversion. My bad. My apologies. It's a great step in the right direction. I feel really good about this Washington team, not only for the next couple of games, but for the entire season, and especially the next couple of seasons, as long as this keeps getting better, man. I really like what I'm seeing. That's it for tonight, man. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. If you guys want more Washington videos, let me know down below.